Hey everyone, welcome back to Wix Fix. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you about multi-state boxes inside of EditorX. Let's go ahead and get started. So multi-state boxes are something that's really cool because it's something where you can create a custom slideshow or something like that, or you can create multi-page forms, which is really cool. Now, in order to set this up, you do need to make sure you are in dev mode, otherwise multi-state boxes will not appear in your ad panel. And this does require a little bit of code. However, this one is pretty easy and it's not that difficult. Now for today's video, I'm basically going to show you some very basic stuff about them. And in the future, I plan to release more content about how you can use some advanced features with them. So in order to add them, like I mentioned, you do need to have dev mode turned on. So if you do not have that, just come over to dev mode and make sure it's turned on. Then you can come over to your ad panel. You can come over to layout tools and you'll see a box right here for multi-state boxes. Then we can just go ahead and add this out onto our website or our artboard. And there is a couple things that I do want to note before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Right now we have the multi-state box selected. So with the multi-state box selected, we can go ahead and set the width of this container or this multi-state box. However, if we click on it again, it's going to basically choose the child container inside of it, which is kind of like a repeater. So think of the multi-state box as the repeater and the container inside of it as the item. With the item selected, now we can actually adjust the height of this. And the cool thing is if we go back to multi-state box, we could press manage state and we switch over to our other state inside of it, you're going to notice it has a completely different height. So we can actually have completely different heights across different multi-state boxes. So once again, if I switch back over to the first box, you're going to notice it shrinks up, which this is really cool because in a way you can create collapsible sections inside of Wix and EditorX just with multi-state boxes. And another thing that I want to mention, if you go ahead and click on the container inside of the multi-state box, we can actually apply a grid to it. It's pretty simple. And another thing I would like to mention is you can actually add these multi-state boxes inside of repeaters. So if you know a lot of Velo and you are able to use it, then this might be a really cool option if you want to create a product showcase and you can create your own custom ribbons. But that will be another video for another day. For today's example, I have just built out this very basic slideshow because if you aren't aware, or at least at the time of recording this video, they do not have slideshows in EditorX quite yet. So this is a great way to accomplish the same thing. And even if you are watching this when they do add slideshows, this might be a great method for having complete control over the design. But if we take a look at this, I basically created just 4 different levels with different images. And you can see right down here, these boxes change as well. So basically what we're going to want to do is grab this first button, which is button 1, and we need button 2. So what we want button 1 to do is go all the way to the end, and we want button 2 to go to the very next item. So if we go ahead and open up our coding panel, inside the onReady function, what we're going to do is go ahead and call the button. So we're going to say $W button 1, and we're going to say on click, and what we want to do is grab this multi-state box, which I think this one is called multi-state box 2. So we're going to say $W multi-state box 2, and we're going to change state to 4 because with button 1, which is this one right here, we want it to go to the last item. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and copy this text right here. I'm going to pull it down and we're going to say button 2 on click. We want to go to the ID for number 2. And if you're wondering where I'm getting 4 and 2 from, if I click on this container, go to the multi-state box and go to manage states. You're going to see I named each one of these states a number. And if you want to edit them yourself, all you have to do is go ahead and press this 3 dots and press edit ID. And that's basically going to change the ID given to this state. And that's what you would use here in the code. But now if I go to state 2 and I look at the buttons, this one is button 8 and button 7. So I'm just going to once again copy this text, paste it down. I'm going to do button 7 and button 8 right here. And button 7 was this one right here. So button 7, we want to go to multi-state 3. And button 8, we want to go back to 1, just like that. And then I'm just going to copy this code once again. And with the multi-state box selected, we're going to go to state 3. And for this button, it's 6, and this one's 5. So what we're going to do is 5 and 6. And for button 6, we want to go back to 2. And for button 5, we want to go to 4. Just like that. And if we copy and paste this one more time, we can go ahead and switch back to the multi-state box. And we'll go ahead and switch to state 4. And if we look right here, we have button 4 and button 3. So we're going to change the button from 3 to 4. And button 3 needs to go all the way back to 1. And button 4 needs to go back to 3. Just like that. But as you can see, if we go ahead and press preview, you're going to see it works just fine. So I do think I did mess this up a little bit and I misnumbered the state boxes it's supposed to go to, but as you can see, the code itself is working. I just think I messed up on which ones were supposed to go to which states. But as you can see, you can create a very nice little slideshow right here inside of Editor X. And if you would like to see me build this full slideshow out in a future video, be sure to let me know in the comments below. But this basically wraps it up for the video. If you guys did enjoy, please consider giving this video a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more Editor X tutorials coming out in the near future. Thank you all again, and I'll see you all in the next one.